Welcome back to Boring Gear Reviews. This week we've got the Squidink from Tark Audio. Thanks so much to Mark from Tark Audio for sending me the Squidink. So Tark Audio was founded in 2022 and they're based out of Portland, Oregon. This is actually not the first Tark pedal we've done. If you want to click the link right here, you can check out my demo of the Wharf, which is a really awesome overdrive pedal. So the Squidink is an analog octave pedal with some bit crushing capabilities as well. So for controls, we have volume, and that'll obviously control the output of the pedal while it's on. Next, we have mix, and that'll control the mix blend of the wet and dry signal. Then we have fuzz. There is a really great fuzz circuit in here, and this controls how much of that is on. It's always on a little bit. So even at its lowest setting, fully counterclockwise, you're still going to hear distortion. And then it just gets kind of gnarlier and thicker and fuzzier as you turn it up. In the select section, we can choose how our octave system works. So we can go from 2 octaves down or 1 octave down and 2 octaves up or 1 octave up. And we can select which one is which. So I can have 2 octaves down and 1 octave up, or 1 octave down and 2 octaves up, and we can switch that any way we like. And then we can blend between them with this knob here. Next, we have the tracking section, and here we can have normal or wiggle tracking. In normal tracking, the octave tracks, basically how analog octave tracking works. And then in the wiggle, it's kind of bouncing back and forth between the two. When we're in the normal setting, we can select either slow or fast, and then the knob to the right will kind of adjust the speed and character of that tracking. When it's up in the wiggle section, it's kind of like a portamento control. The foot switch on the left will control whether or not the octave is on or off, and then the foot switch on the right will control whether the entire pedal is on or off. So you can run it just as a distortion pedal or fuzz pedal, or you can run it as fuzz with octave. In this pedal, the octave is not independent. It has to be on with the rest of the pedal. For today's demo, I'm using my 1980 Reborn Old LS80, and this has Sunbear pickup 62 patents. And as always, I'll be going into my UAD Apollo X6 and using the Softube JMP 2203 amp sim. All right, in this first clip, we're going to start with just the fuzz engaged. And this will actually be all the way counterclockwise. So this is as low gain as it'll go. And then I'm going to toggle the octave on and off via the foot switch. And here we're going to have it with 2 octaves down and 1 octave up, and the blend around 2 o'clock. We're going to have the tracking normal and fast, and then the knob right in the middle. And after that, we're going to have the Death by Audio Echo Dream 2. If you'd like to see a full demo of the Echo Dream 2, click the link right here. And here we're going to have a super long delay, so this is as long as it'll go, a little over a second. So there's going to be a lot of kind of lo-fi artifacts and aliasing and stuff like that. And then we're going to have the modulation turned up a bit. So it's going to kind of be very big, slow waves in modulation here. What I really like about this is, depending on how I'm playing, the octave and bit crushing works differently. So you'll hear it in the beginning, and it almost has like an envelope filter quality as well. That's very dynamic to your playing. So when I'm doing more chords, you'll hear more of that kind of bit crush ring modulator thing happening, and there's almost like a flange effect there too. And then when I'm playing more single notes, the octave will come out much more apparent. This is a very, very unique sound that I don't know if I've gotten from any other pedal. Enjoy. All right, so for this next setting, we are going to have the volume still at 3. We're going to put the mix around 2. The fuzz is going to be at noon. And then we're going to have 2 octaves down and 2 octaves up selected, with the blend leaning more towards the lower octave. So that's like 10 o'clock on that knob. And then we're going to be using still the normal function and fast tracking with the tracking characteristic knob all the way up. So completely clockwise. And that will be paired with the Death by Audio rooms. And here I'm going to be playing between the regular settings up here and then the alternate settings. But basically it's going to just be a large digital reverb. This is a really big sound, and as I'm playing on the neck pickup this time, the tracking will work a little different. So you're really going to hear those 2 octaves kind of fighting for space in the signal. And then when in the later part of the clip, I'm going to roll down the volume of my guitar, and you'll hear, one, how really beautifully this cleans up, but then all of these other characteristics of the pedal are going to come through because the octave signal isn't going to be quite as prominent because the volume's lower, the input's lower, and I'm not digging in as hard. All of this kind of ring mod bit crushing stuff just comes in, and this is just with the volume. There's something that happens with this pedal where it really feels like a lot is going on, but it's all very usable and musical. It's not like stepping on your playing, but it's adding stuff that you didn't necessarily plan for, and I mean that in like a really good, fun way. All right, in this last clip, we're going to keep the volume at 3. I'm going to turn the mix all the way counterclockwise. So this will only be the wet signal from the pedal, and we're going to roll back the fuzz again as well. I'm going to have just 1 octave down and 1 octave up, with the blend still leaning more towards the lower octave side here around 10 o'clock. Tracking's at normal in the slow setting, and it's going to be at around 10 o'clock here also. And that would be paired with the Old Blood Noise Endeavor's Dark Star. If you'd like to see a full demo of the Dark Star, click the link right here. And here we're also going to have the mix all the way up, and we're going to be in the crush setting with the reverb coming from this as well. So to start, we'll hear just the Squidink, and then I'll engage the Dark Star after that. What's fun about this is it's going to be 100% wet from the Squidink. You'll hear how that sounds, and then 100% wet from the Dark Star. So it's like this really cool kind of glitchy octave thing going into a really big reverberated bit crusher. And then at the end, I'll turn off the octave, so you'll just hear the fuzz section of the Squidink into the Dark Star. One of the things I was very impressed by with this setting was how differently it handled single notes and then big chords. They both sound very pad-like and just huge. This is like I said, this is a really big sounding pedal. And that'll do it for the Squidink from Tark Audio. There are a lot of octave type pedals out there, but I don't know if I've ever played one quite like this. This is a fascinating pedal, super unique, and the way it handles octave and crushing and ring mod stuff definitely has its own space. You can hear that, I mean, it's very easy to create super wacky sounds with this that are like just immensely fun. It's also, while at the same time being very musical and interesting sounding, there's a lot of thought put into how this thing works and sounds. And for me, that really came through. Mark is making great stuff, and this has just been an absolute pleasure to play. So hit him up on Instagram or his website and pick up a Squidink. As always, links for everything will be in the description below. All right, and there's one other announcement here. So for a little while, I've been saying that once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I would do something cool. So there's two things that are happening. One is that we have shirts now. So check the link in my description, head over to my TeePublic store, and pick up the official Boring Gear Reviews shirt. And the second thing is, some of you already know and some of you don't, I release music as a project called Grey House. There's links in the description. And what I wanted to do was pick one of my videos at random, and whatever one gets picked, I will make a record based on the clips in that video. So if you follow me on Instagram at Boring Gear Reviews, I'll be picking a random video of mine and announcing which album I'm gonna make. I don't have an exact date on when I'll release it. It'll kind of depend on how I can fit this in between, making these videos and running my business and, being a dad and stuff. But I'll figure it out. I'll make it work. Thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. It means the world to me. It's kind of blowing my mind. I'm really excited to move forward, and I really appreciate all the support. If you're not subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. And until next time, peace.